Maybe it's the bad boy persona or the charm of a criminal, but we don't know why a woman would possibly marry a killer. Because doing time for a crime is not only attractive, but it also spells love. Here are 10 women who married killers. AFTON Elaine Burton. AFTON Elaine Burton, also known as Star, made headlines around the world when it was announced that she plans to marry Charles Manson, who was a major leader in the Manson family murders. Star started off with bringing Manson toiletries as well as writing him letters. Soon enough, the couple was telling people they were in love and even got a marriage license with the intention to marry. But Manson later called off the wedding when he found out that Star was planning on displaying his corpse in a museum after his death. Carol Ann Boone. Carol Ann Boone's name will be forever remembered as the woman who married Ted Bundy. After the infamous murderer was convicted of killing 30 women, Carol believed in Ted's innocence, and through a loophole in the justice system, Bundy asked Carol to marry him in front of the judge during his sentencing, and she said yes. While he was on death row, Carol became pregnant with his child despite not having a conjugal visit. Apparently, Bundy left his business at a condom and passed it on to Carol with a kiss. Carol Hoff. Carol Hoff was one of John Wayne Gacy's 2 wives, and she was the one who wasn't that aware of Gacy's homicidal tendencies. The couple married in 1972, which was about the same time that Gacy started his murderous rampage. Carol started to notice an awful stench coming from the crawl spaces of their house, which was where Gacy was storing the bodies of his victims. There were also a lot of young men and teenage boys going missing at the time, some that Gacy knew. Plus, Gacy was previously incarcerated for sodomizing a teenage boy, which Carol was aware of and thought he was reformed. Finally, she ended things with Gacy after he admitted he was bisexual and kept a large amount of gay porn around the house. Judith Mawson. Judith Mawson was married to serial killer Gary Ridgway, who confessed to killing over 70 people after his incarceration. Judith was horrified to find out that her husband had actually committed the murders, as she had maintained his innocence during his trial and sentencing. The couple had met in a bar, fell in love, and got married, and according to Judith, nothing was amiss. There was only one thing that was odd while they were dating, but that was when she went to Gary's house and the carpet was gone and the bed and box spring were on the floor. He claimed an ex-girlfriend took the bed and the tenants had destroyed the carpet. After realizing what her husband had done, Judith changed her name and became an alcoholic for several years before getting sober. DOREEN LIOY. DOREEN LIOY married Richard Ramirez, better known as the Night Stalker, in 1996 after he proposed to her in 1988. Ramirez raped, tortured, and killed at least 14 people in Los Angeles and San Francisco, and he garnered quite a fan following during his trial and conviction. Doreen had written Ramirez 75 letters while he was in prison, and the couple were married in San Quentin State Prison. Doreen maintained that he was innocent and thought he was a good person. They separated eventually, and Ramirez died in prison in 2013. Carol Spadoni. After Philip Carl Jablonski killed his first wife and was serving time in prison, he got lonely and put in an ad requesting a pen pal. Carol Spadoni faithfully answered his ad and the two became quite close. While Jablonski was serving his 12-year sentence, he and Carol married in 1982. He was released in 1990, but it wouldn't be long before he murdered again. He killed 2 women and carved "I love Jesus" on one of his victims. Finally, he killed Carol and her mother. Jablonski was eventually caught and is now on death row. Elena Popkova. Mikhail Popkova became known as the Werewolf because he brutally attacked and killed at least 22 women at nighttime while serving as a policeman in Russia. Popkova would pick up drunk women in his car and then rape and kill them. Even though Popkova confessed and DNA evidence supported his confession, Elena maintains that he is innocent and uses her 28-year marriage to him as proof of her statement. ROSALIE Martinez. Oscar Bolin Jr. is best known for serving time on death row for the rape and murder of 3 Florida women, thus earning the name Bolin the Butcher. However, ROSALIE Martinez, who was a public defender as well as being married to a prominent lawyer at the time, still managed to fall in love with Bolin. After she was caught in a compromising position in Bolin's cell, she lost her first husband and her job, but she managed to marry Bolin via a telephone wedding ceremony in 1996, so that's something. Shirley Joyce Book. Shirley Joyce Book tried to move in on Ted Bundy, but after she was rejected, she moved on to the Hillside Strangler Kenneth Bianchi and became his pen pal. Bianchi had numerous admirers and even tried to get one of them to testify that she was strangled after he was incarcerated so that he could be freed, but it didn't work. In 1989, Shirley and Bianchi tied the knot. Marie Cachet. Marie Cachet caught the heart of Varg Vikernes, who was a black metal musician who killed Mayhem guitarist Ustain Euronymous Arset, as well as committing arson in several churches. Marie and Vikernes got married 15 years into his 21-year sentence, and eventually moved to France with their 4 children. However, both Marie and Vikernes were arrested in 2013 under suspicion of plotting a terrorist attack, and Vikernes was found guilty for inciting racial hatred against Muslims and Jews. So I guess the heart just wants what the heart wants? Well, anyway, while you're here, here's a couple other videos that we think you might dig, and please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.